Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Saki Namisha from Kaoko Energy Solutions. We, we just have to deal with what we have. I think it's clear from there. Um, we are basically an American startup. We are looking at sustainability from a different angle. And one our motto, or let me say our slogan is our sustainability promise, or our sustainable promise rather. So this means that whatever we do, we we are committed to sustainability in whatever service that we offer. So that's basically where we started our sustainable promise. So Kaoko Green Energy Solutions basically deals with three thematic areas of business, um, but not your conventional, so to say, renewable. We are kind of tapping into the the territories that are not yet tested, especially on the African continent. We are looking at number one, at waves. Utilizing ocean waves as a source of renewable energy. But of course, we're starting with Namibia. Namibia has about 1,300 kilometers of coastline. Data is showing that you're most likely to harness about 10 gigawatts of electricity or renewable electricity if you utilize that whole coastline. But of course, it's not possible. So, but we deal with what we have. Number two, we are looking at how can a man on the street benefit from. Oh, okay. Sorry. Number two, we are looking at how can a man on the street benefit from the from the molecules, from the green molecules rather, because of course there have been a lot of questions among the communities, not only in America, but I think in Africa in general, saying how can me as Thomas from Katura benefit from green hydrogen? Of course, they do understand the whole economics of things, how they can benefit, but then how do I touch, how do I feel green hydrogen? And that's where we're coming in to use green hydrogen as a cooking gas, which actually taps into one of the sustainable development goals, number 7 of the United Nations. Then our last areas of business, we are looking at marine and aviation industry. But because the whole agenda right now is basically to kind of trying really to achieve net zero. And the global south is in a space where you have a lot of developments. So whether it's either now through shipping, a lot of minerals are coming from the global south, a lot of travel will be happening in the global south. Now, how do you ship green hydrogen from Namibia to Europe? Are you still going to use marine diesel? And in that chain will be the green shipping. So now, this is where we want to tap in as Kaoko Green Energy Solution. But we are using um, your your normal algae to say, okay, how do we then utilize algae, which can also be able to capture carbon dioxide. So those are our three thematic, business where we are tapping into. But today we're not gonna drill deep into number one, the waste, because that chapter is already done. We're busy with our pilot project in Namibia between Hentis Bay and Swakopmund. So we're gonna leave that because it's being dealt with at home. So we're just going straight to our business area number 2, which is your green hydrogen as a cooking gas. So So I'm trying to make through the next slide. Okay. Yes. Um, I think July last year, there was a master class in Namibia on green hydrogen methods. And then that's where we kind of took a stand to really understand what it is and how can it be beneficial to Namibia. For me, that's coming from Korea. Korea is a settlement in Namibia where it's kind of really difficult sometimes to get things done. Now, um, a lot of times we kind of take things for granted, and that's why, as from a youth perspective, we thought, how do we then be part of the green hydrogen value chain? So, but then we thought, what is the lowest hanging fruit around this whole value chain? Of course, we're not going to be competing with hydrogen, or we're not going to be in the same business as hydrogen, but then how do, if hydrogen is producing green hydrogen, where can we get it? So then we thought, let's be at the end of the value chain, which you can say, okay, green hyphen, give us your hydrogen, then we use it in our cooking. So we have teamed up with a company from the Netherlands called Impact Hydrogen. So where we look at the whole design component, because sometimes cooking in an African culture is not just a cooking, because it involves fire. Now, it has a lot of cultural meaning, so that it was very important to us really to understand from a design perspective, to say, how do we design a green hydrogen cooker which incorporates everybody, not only from a Namibian perspective, but from the whole African context. So it has been a lot of a lot of work to able to come to the final conclusion and to a final design and to a final name, which is called Hay Cooker. So Hay Cooker is basically just your cooking stove, but is utilizing hydrogen, rather green hydrogen. So the the idea there is just to say, how can then the design be appropriate in terms of safety, in terms of weight, in terms of material that can be used. So, and also where can we source some of this local, some of these materials that we use in manufacturing this. Now, in August, yes, in October, we have launched our first prototype Kaoko in Cape Town during the Green Hydrogen Week. So then again, during the Brussels business delegation that went to Belgium, we have also showcased our hay cooker. So we are basically just at a stage where we we are looking at really commercializing, but of course there's still a long way to go in terms of certification, in terms of safety aspect, so that everybody will feel safe when they're using the green hydrogen. So imagine um, um, me in Taurus trying to cook. That area is basically a desert on its own. I need to look for cooking wood. I need to look for another source of whatever energy to cook. So that's where we are coming from. We are coming from a local perspective, because we understand the challenges that are surrounding the Namibian livelihoods, especially in the rural areas. So, but the the numbers are just growing. Statistics shows that the, the global south, you have about 920 million people that do not have access to clean cooking. But it's the only area around the world where the number is increasing. So it's expected that in 2030 you have about 1.2 billion people that do not have access to clean cooking. So now that's where we are trying to tap in. Since Namibia is rated as one of the countries to produce green hydrogen at the lower cost, looking at the resources that we have. So that's why we thought it would be very important for our people to be part of that whole value chain, especially and so through the through clean cooking. Sorry. Now The prototype is ready to display. We have received some of the requests already, people from the UK wanting to buy and incorporate it in the green hydrogen ecosystem. So we are just working really around the clock to see how do we then maximize and commercialize it. Of course, there's a lot of things to be done again, but this is just to show that it's possible. Green hydrogen cooking, it's a reality which we not want it to be missed by anybody, and especially looking at international organizations that are looking into the sustainable goal number 7. So yeah, that's what we do in Kaoko Energy Solution from the utilization of green hydrogen as a cooking gas. We are ready to engage and talk, discuss, and find opportunities and possibilities around the global south mostly. Because for me and for us, that's basically our most concern, because as much as we are discussing about climate change, it's really going to affect, and the impact will be felt in the global south. And if we're not ready, we'll be finding a space. And we thought our promise is to contribute through green hydrogen as a cooking gas. The area of our services, of our business, number 2. Sorry, the last one, number 3. It's there's green shipping through bioenergy. LNG stands for liquefied natural gas. Our idea basically is to use seaweed, of course, which is called algae. It's a very common greenish thing that you normally see in the water, that we have a type that we use for that. Now, the idea really stems from the green shipping agenda, or rather green voyage agenda of 2050. A couple of months ago, Namibia had been selected as one of the countries in Southern Africa to be piloting green shipping sort of activities. Meaning, Namibia, they looked from the angle that Namibia has, the fishing industry of Namibia is one of the biggest in the world. So it means, and statistics again shows that about 20 to 30% of the operational cost goes to marine diesel. Now, this is one of the areas, or one of the sectors that contributes a lot to carbon emission. And the International Maritime Organization looked at it and realized that how do we then start, a green shipping corridor, because Namibia is, we are going to ship green hydrogen. We then need to know how are we going to ship these molecules out. So the challenge is really around shipping the green molecules out with what? Of course, ammonia is one of them. And so they're really looking at different sustainable forms. And one of them from Kaoko, as a private company, is algae. Now, we are looking at land-based farm algae, where we are using seawater. So we pump seawater to the ponds where we are growing algae. Now, algae normally requires carbon dioxide to grow. So now, for that, you do, when you're using seawater to grow algae, you do what is called deacidification, meaning you are removing carbon dioxide from the seawater. So by default, you are removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, because seawater gets the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So that's what we are trying to do now. What you do with algae, basically get methane, and then that carbon that you get, you use it for your e-methanol. In essence, we are already busy with our front end engineering design is done for the pilot project. Again, between Hentis Bay and Swakopmund, where we are already busy with the regional council to get our land approved. We are busy with the International Maritime Organization. The project basically is approved by the Maritime IMO. We are in partnership with a company from Africa called CH4. We are looking at, second quarter of 2025 to get our pilot project running now. The reason being the testing, the piloting of the project from the Maritime Organization, it's a component that is required by NAMPORT and the Ministry of Fisheries, because they are testing 2 of their tugboats plus the 3 vessels. One is for fisheries, basically for fishing, and the other one is for research. Now, this is where we are coming from to say we want to tap into the upcoming industries. Now, the e-methanol normally can also use it as in yourself, the sustainable aviation fuels. So that's where we are coming from. And I think it has been very interesting days around COP28, looking at how different policymakers, different leaders looking at different solutions in their respective regions. And from the private sector, from the private company, I think this is the contribution that we want to make, and we want to really just see what will transpire, and we will need policymakers and decision makers in our respective countries to have strong legal frameworks that also protect and look at local entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that are into some of these spaces that are curbing the carbon emission, and also that are looking at climate change as the biggest humanity threat. So it's basically from that context we are coming from, and I think we stand a good chance of really proving Namibia as a pilot ground in some of these climate change and adaptation initiatives. So, and I think from Kaoko Energy Solution, it has been a pleasure having you listen to what we have to say, and really an eye-opening opportunity for COP28, and I hope we believe that I think it's just the beginning of a lot of initiatives. We make this a reality. Thank you so much.